Hey y'all, it's Megan and Andy. Welcome back to the channel. Glad y'all are here today. Come spend a little time with us today. I don't know exactly what all we'll get into, but first off, we're just bringing you along with us on our morning chores, and we'll see what else we can get into today.
Yeah. Come on, chickies. Still chilly out here, ain't it?
Yeah. Come on.
I gotta go over there and get
No,
this
I
pan.
got an extra one right here. I'll get it this evening. That's what I
Go
usually
ahead and get it.
That's what I usually do. Just trade them out.
I'll go ahead and get it.
Why you gotta push it out there?
Your baking soda pans are out here too.
Who did that? They were not out. They were up in here yesterday. Who did that? And where's the other horse pan? Did you push them both out
There's
there?
one.
Huh?
Right there's one. Right there's one.
What did y'all do? Come in here and terrorize last night? Because there's my other pan.
Well, I told you I had to come out here and get them. There wasn't none of them in there.
What? They don't usually push both of them out.
You ready? It's coming over.
Y'all don't usually push both of them. Was that y'all or the cows? Who was it? Y'all just in here terrorizing, pushing stuff out, ain't you?
They've tore this pan all to pieces.
That was literally yesterday evening, was up in there like I usually have them. Why y'all gotta be that way?
They're like we're bored.
They're done being in here.
They are tired of being pinned up for the winter.
Come here, Quasi. There you go. Next.
To the meat chickens.
Yep. Yeah, maybe they'll actually move towards the sunlight. They're lazy in the mornings.
They definitely have to make that move in the morning though. My goodness, they make a mess.
Yeah. It looks so much better with that brush pile gone.
Don't it though?
Yes.
Yeah, if it was a little drier, that's one thing I'd definitely do today is get in there and clean what's left of it up and smooth it all out. But
hello, chickies.
I filled up that water yesterday evening, so it's good.
Okay. Reckon why they feel the need they got to poop in there.
Cause of chickens.
They got all that room to use the bathroom. I'm gonna have to wash it.
It's nasty, ain't it?
Got all that room.
Come on, chickies.
You're good though, because they're all up there in the sun. Oh, there comes one. What you doing? Go back that way.
You ready?
All right. Yep, you're good. Whoa. Now move, honey. You got just a little ways, but I got go. They want to get in this sun now. Go. Y'all lazy things. All right, a little bit farther. These things are growing. They ain't gonna be here much longer.
Yeah, they're gonna be ready to go away real soon. Look what a mess they leave behind.
That's why we move them twice a day now. You gotta move them just enough that they leave enough to fertilize the grass, but not enough to kill it.
All right, let's go feed cats, pigs, and Lovey.
Come on, Tiger. Girl, I know you can run faster than that, just trotting up through there.
So people ask constantly, do we feed our cats since they are rodent patrol? And I know many folks don't feed their cats that are kind of like wild barn cats, but we do feed our cats. So years ago, we used to feed these cats up on the porch. But that made them congregate up on the porch all the time. So now we feed them down here under the back side of this building. And right now would be a good time to count how many we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 right there. And I know 2 of them are missing, so that makes 9. 9 cats total.
Well, you said even when your papa lived up here that the cats, there used to be stray cats congregated up here all the time, didn't they?
Yeah, for some reason. I have no idea why.
Here, Lovey do. Come on, baby. Are you not hungry this morning? You don't look hungry.
Yeah, for whatever reason, cats have always congregated here. I guess they felt like it was their safe place. Because these are not cats that we brought here. These are cats that...
They're stray at one time or another that we've took in and took care of.
Yep, and along the way, we've had a couple groups of kittens here and there, but...
Yep. We try to stop that before it starts, but sometimes it don't always happen. Since the kids have been around and gotten older, they are taming some of the younger generation of cats, which is, because we did, for a long time, we had like feral, like straight up wild cats. Like they would come eat, but you couldn't touch them.
You couldn't, yeah.
You
even look at them the wrong way and they're...
Yeah. Piggies! Good morning! Good morning! Hello!
We've got 2 more cats that stay out here, so that makes, like I was talking a while ago, a total of 9. She's extremely scaredish.
Yeah, if there's one thing different, she's not going to come out. So the camera, she probably is like under this building or somewhere up in the woods watching, and she's like, what is that? What do they have?
Then the other one's just a tomcat that stays out here, and he just kind of does his own thing.
Was he not up there?
No, Tom wasn't up there.
Oh. I saw him yesterday. He's one we don't see every day, and he's fixed, but we don't see him every day.
He still does his own thing all the time. Let's show y'all what these old things look like now.
They're growing, and they're so sweet. These are probably some of the friendliest pigs I think we've ever had. Ain't they?
They are.
And we've always got them from Johnny and Melissa, but I believe she spoilt these.
It seems that way. So I was talking to Johnny yesterday, telling him that these were the most friendly pigs we've ever had. They're not skittish or anything. They're not jumpy.
They're so sweet.
And he said, they've been getting spoiled with cheese balls and crackers or something like that.
They are. They're something.
It won't be long. I don't know. We'll probably give them another week or so on the wire, just letting them get used to it. And then we'll turn them out into the woods, and then they'll have that whole patch out there in the woods to roam and whatever they want to do.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know where Black Kitty's at. I don't see her anywhere.
No, it ain't nothing unusual for her not to be down here in the morning.
That cat is...
She's old.
12 years old, 13 years old. And it's the way she's always... I don't know. She's always lived. We tried to actually make her a house cat, remember?
Yeah.
And then she hated it.
She wasn't having that.
She hated it. And so we put her back out, and she likes it out here with these pigs. And she's lived out here for many years.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing a cat's lived that long outside on her own, pretty much. All right, well, one other thing I need to do is check the greenhouse. I'll probably have to open the door on it this morning since the sun's shining. All right.
Another funny thing about Black Kitty is, if we ever go on vacation or anything, We have somebody up here feeding for us. Nobody ever sees her.
No.
And then when we get home, we're like, oh, well, there she is.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we ain't seen that black cat.
Yep.
It's already 100 degrees in here this morning.
That sun cooking.
Just from that little bit of sun. Everything looks good. Don't look like I need to water nothing right away. Boy, them tomatoes are growing. So just
look
since
at these squash plants.
Yeah, just since the last time y'all saw this, look at how much everything's grown. But here is another reason that I'm not a big fan of using my own compost for seed starting mix.
But somebody did make a good point, and I'm going to mention that in case it does help somebody else. Something we didn't think about. We had a terrible, terrible drought last summer, and it was hot and it was dry. And if y'all been around since then, you remember how it was. The grass died. We were feeding hay in July. Like it was rough.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody made a good point in one of our last videos and said, well, maybe that compost, the way we usually pile it up and everything, didn't have enough moisture content to get hot enough to kill the weed seeds this year because of that drought. Because we don't water it or anything like that. Like usually we just let it do its thing.
But we do keep a check on the temperature.
Yeah.
I have a very long compost thermometer.
Did you check it last year?
I checked it last year and I never once seen it get like over 100 degrees. And I know that's nowhere close enough to kill the weeds. And before.
And after we got to thinking about that, after they mentioned that, because I hadn't even thought that about it being so dry. And I bet
makes sense.
I bet that's what happened.
Because before, in years past, that thing will get on up to 160 degrees.
Yeah.
It'll get too hot. And it never even got close to that last year. So I guarantee that's the problem.
Mm-hmm. That's because of that drought.
Well, if it stays like it is right now, it ain't going to have no problem having enough moisture in it.
I know that's right.
It's wet down there.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the next thing we're going to tackle this morning is something we should have done, or something that has been needing to be done for a long time.
Yep.
Y'all can remember years past, the raised beds we have over there, and then we have one along this garden edge. I've always complained about raised beds saying,
you got to keep them watered.
You got to constantly water, all the time. Well, today we're going to help make that a little bit easier.
Yep. We talked to Greg down at House Tools, and they have this irrigation set that's for raised beds, right? I mean, that's what it's for. And so we got us one.
We actually got two.
And we're going to put it together.
We bought a set for these raised beds, and we bought a set for those beds over there.
Right.
I want to start on these simply because they're in two straight lines. I feel like they're going to be the easiest to set up. And then these over here, I'll have to do a little bit more work on to make them work.
Well, I think we'll see how it goes, and then we'll decide if we're jump and do those.
So the two kits are in that box, and then that box has got a bunch of extra pieces in it that do not come. I mean, there's a couple that come with the kits, but I added it all up, and I needed a whole lot more of these to do it the way I want to do it. So what the initial setup is going to be is we're probably going to fix it where the water hose will hook in right here, and then there's going to be a line coming across to these beds, and it'll run out through there, and a line coming across and running out through there, and then off of those lines will be your little drip lines that go out and actually do the watering. So
yeah, I can't even wrap my head around what it's going to look like.
It's not going to be nothing to it. I think it's pretty simple. I have dealt with some of this drip tape and drip lines and all that, like when I was in college, when we were learning how to do, because it's pretty much the same type of irrigation setup you would have on your landscaping and stuff on a house. You would have this same exact setup on like your flowers, and you know, we had a lot of flowers that we would pull out every year and replace with new annuals and all that. Not actually your shrubbery, but your flowers, your annual flowers. And we had, you know, when we was learning all that stuff, we had the exact same setups on them, but that's been a long time ago. So I haven't done anything with any of those type of irrigation systems since.
Right.
So, because in my business, we never jumped into the irrigation part.
Right.
And I just didn't take interest in for whatever reason. And I might be finding out today why I didn't take interest in it. So
might bring back those memories.
It might, I don't know. But anyways, let's do it to it.
All right.
Now, once again, like always, If you're interested in anything at all that Hoss Tools sells, or you just want to go and check out their website and see what they do sell, there will be a link down in the description of this video for their website.
And we occasionally have folks comment or email us and ask, you know, how they can help us out here and things like that. And that is, we do earn a little bit of commission off that if you do happen to go through our link going to Hoss Tools.
Yep, that's right.
So, you know.
It's not a ton, but if you click on that link and you purchase something, we do get some, you know, a little percentage off of that. So, anyways, right on top here, this is our main line right here. So this is the line that'll be run down each bed. And then these right here are your little drip lines. So come in here and show what all we got. There's a ton of this drip line. You see there's emitters on that, and that's where the drip of water is going to come out. So we've got several rolls of that. Now, like I said, this is 2 kits worth. This is not 1 kit, this is 2 kits worth. These don't have any holes in them, so these just must run, like, connect your drip lines together where you don't want any water coming out. I watched a video of Greg put one of these setups together just to get to refresh my memory on how all this works. This right here is the most important part of the whole deal to me, though. You've got a pressure regulator on it, and our water comes out of a well and it has a ton of grit. And so we've never been able to use soaker hoses or anything, because as soon as you turn them on,
it stops it up.
It stops it up. And now water on the outside doesn't go through any type of filtration system or whatever. Inside the house does have a filter, but outside don't. So this actually has a filter in it to keep all that stuff from getting into your system and clogging up your emitters, which that's nice. I mean, that right there, we could use like the soaker hoses with a setup like this.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, like soaker hoses, people have asked in the comments several times, well, why don't you just buy some soaker hoses and run it? We can't. Like,
we've tried it.
We can't. Like, we will clog them up in one evening. They will be fully clogged, and they will not have no water come out of them because of the grit that's in our water. All right, this right here is where the line starts. This is what hooks up to your water hose. And so this tubing that's here will go on the end of that just like that. It clamps down, and we'll roll out however much we need to get from one end to the other. And what my plan is between each bed, that's why I wanted so many of these elbows, is between each bed, I'm just going to come off of the bed and let it go down, and it'll run on the ground, and then it'll curve and go back up on each bed. So it's not up in the air to where you're going to trip on it. It'll actually be nice and neat and tucked down against the ground. So first things first, I guess we...
You just tell me what you want me to do.
Well, this right here, this line, you're going to have to take it and we'll have to hold it down. It really should be set out in the sun for a few hours so it'll get the kinkiness out of it.
Oh, okay. So should we do that?
I don't know. We're going to see just how bad it is. We may have to. But there is pins in there somewhere that we can use to hold it down.
I know, this thing looks intimidating. I guess because I ain't never seen nothing like this. Yeah. I ain't in the landscaping world. I don't.
Everything's intimidating until you figure it out. Honestly, this is the worst part about setting up an irrigation system. It's setting it up.
And then after it's there, it's wonderful.
Everybody, each year, we have people ask, well, why in the world don't you set up some type of drip line or drip tape or whatever? And it's because I dread setting it up. I really do. Doing stuff like this is just not my thing.
All right. What you want me to do?
You take that in and get on this side, and we'll go straight down.
Try not to step on my potato crop here.
Now at each bed, like at the end of each bed, we'll end up cutting it.
Oh, really?
Because I'm going to put them elbows in it so we can turn it down and back across and back up. Like in between each bed, like this is all on me. Like I choose to do it this way. But it's going to take an elbow coming off the top of the bed, an elbow at the bottom, an elbow over there. So like 4 elbows between each bed is what it's going to take. And see, once we've got this setup done,
It's here.
It's here, but like we might have to pull it out and drain it in the
Oh, so
winter
it don't
time,
freeze and
so it don't
bust.
freeze and bust. But yeah, it'll be here for the rest of the summer. Like we'll be done for the rest of the summer.
All right, what you want me to do?
Well, first I'm gonna put this filter on. That takes pretty much no effort at all to slide that on.
Oh, really?
That was easy. And then that clamp piece screws out, pretty much clamps down on it. Look, the first part of it's done already. That was easy.
And it does, if you decide to get this, it comes with a nice set of instructions.
It does, but who reads instructions?
I'm just saying, if somebody wants to read
I watched a YouTube video. I went to YouTube
Look,
University to figure out how to do this.
I know, but that's one thing I like about Hoss's stuff. Like, usually when you order stuff from
even
them,
their sweet potato slips, all that
it
stuff
comes
with some type of instruction.
Speaking of that, that's something else we need to do.
Oh yeah, we do, don't we? It's time to put our sweet potatoes in the ground.
We ain't gonna have no slips if we don't hurry up and do something.
Well, the ground's been so cold, they wouldn't sprout no ways.
Well, them things were wrapped up.
These are regular landscape pins, so if we end up needing more, I've got some of these. Let's just put that up in here for now. And look, it's even got a drain plug so you can flush the filter without unscrewing it.
Interesting.
Would it be better just to leave this pipe running all the way to the edge? Maybe like that.
There you go. It'll just be hidden under the cabbage plants.
Yeah, once the cabbage grows, it's going to hide it anyways. I don't know. We'll try it and see if it works like that. We'll leave it. If it don't, I'll do something different.
I'm kind of like you. I don't know why it wouldn't.
So this is where I think I'm going to need my elbows. I don't think, yeah, it'll kink it if we make that turn.
Oh, okay.
So this can be cut with a knife. We're going to use these tubing cutters here. So we'll cut it about right there.
I still can't figure out how this is going to work.
You can't. Well, I know one thing. That part right there is easy. That takes nothing to do. I cut it just a hair too long. See, now we're going to need a very small strip right here. And we can probably dig back this mulch and bury the line underground.
So it ain't out here tripping on it?
Yeah. So get me a guess of how long. Like I said, this is just my OCD coming into order here. It would probably be just fine just to run it straight across there, but goodness, you'd be tripping on it every time you turned around.
I could see the youngins running through here.
And yanking it all out, every bit of
Yep.
it. They'd hang their foot on it, and there it all go.
Or either I'd do that, not paying attention, talking, doing something.
Well, yeah, I would too. I can't say I wouldn't. And once again, y'all, these elbows, like I said, I think it does come with a few elbows in the kit. But these elbows, I had to buy all these separate. So just be aware of that. If you think you're going to
do it
like what we're doing, you're going to have to buy the elbows separate. And it is somewhat of an investment, because that was the other thing that's held me back, is stuff like this is not cheap. But I don't know. I guess depending on just how valuable your time is, you know, if you've got plenty of time to stand out here with a water hose, which I'm not going to lie, I actually kind of enjoy standing out here with a water hose. But then there are those days where, there are those days when you get home from work and it's late and you just ain't got time to come out here and water. Well, all you got to do with this is turn the water on and go in the house and do what you got to do.
I got you.
You can go and buy this kind of setup anywhere, and honestly, you'll probably find it cheaper somewhere else. But I just want you to know that you can literally call down to the Hoss office if you've got questions about anything, and they will answer your phone call. You're going to talk to a real person, and they're going to answer your questions, and they're going to help you out any way that they can possibly help you out. Because, as Greg always says, his goal is to make everybody successful at gardening. And so, he ain't lying.
Yep. And we've met them in person. They were kind enough to let us come down and visit last year, and you're supporting a family-run business.
Yeah, you went, especially when you go down there, you realize it's a legit family-run business. There's nothing hidden behind the scenes or anything. They the real deal.
I think that's a good idea, burying that.
I think so too. We'll have to take some of that and push it back around there so take that slack out.
I was reading in one of my Foxmeyer books.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that even way back then, people planted what they called October beans because pintos never did good like in this climate?
Really?
And it's close to pintos, and that's what people planted. I
know Mom and Daddy, I can remember them planting pintos, but I don't know whether they ever did good or not. I think I tried planting. That ain't going to work.
No, the
ground's too soft. I think we tried planting pintos one year, and the bugs just slap ate them up.
Yeah, we
did.
They
wouldn't do nothing.
That's right. They didn't do good. But I'm going to tell you, I'm a pinto-loving girl, but boy, them October beans, they right up there with them.
In my opinion, they're better than a pinto. Can you picture what this is going to look like yet?
I can't figure out where the water's going to come out at.
I'll show you when we get that far.
That's what I can't figure out. Where does the water come out at? Oh my gosh.
That about knocked you out.
About took me out.
If it wasn't for me wanting to do these corners here, we'd about been done with this side.
I like the way it looks though. I like that. With the corners like that. That was a good idea.
Yeah. I wish we had time to leave this sitting out here today.
What do you mean?
So it would quit that.
Oh.
But it'll be all right. All right.
What you need?
My tube thing that bounced away from me. Let's hope I figured it all up right. Can you hold that?
Yeah. So you say we got to go grind pig feed after lunch?
Yeah,
today.
we go grind some pig feed.
You ought to seen Toto the other day. We got a black cat named Toto.
What'd he do?
Down there at that cow feed, we got it parked under that building.
I seen your post on Facebook.
Yeah, he was down there just stretched out. And he was just down there asleep, and I was like, I hope you're hunting mice. Like, maybe he's just laying there.
He was down there chilling in the sunshine, probably.
I'm like, maybe you're down here just waiting on one to move. But yeah, he looked like he was extremely comfortable. And if you don't know, we've got a couple of Facebook pages if you happen to be in the Facebook world. We got one that's the True Grit group page, the True Grit community. And that's a group that I created actually a few years ago. But I created that mostly for y'all, for like-minded folks to talk about stuff and learn about stuff. We don't post a ton on there, on the community page. But I wanted a place for our viewers, because we all, I feel like, kind of think a lot alike, and maybe we could help each other. So
the community page is also there for the viewers to share what they got going on.
Yep.
Just like we share what we're doing through YouTube. If you're not on YouTube, you can get on there and share what you're doing.
You want to share pictures of your garden or
anything?
What you're cooking?
Your tractor. You got whatever you want to put on there. Put it on there, as long as it's
I will say
related.
It has to pertain. Yeah, there's some stuff. If it doesn't pertain to something such as that, then.
And if you ask to be a member of that group, make sure you answer both the questions, because if you don't answer both questions, you will not be approved.
And we have to do that because y'all know Facebook is like ridden with spam, and so unfortunately I have to do that.
Yep.
But and then there's also the True Grit official page, and that's where we do occasionally post over there, like things that you may or may not see on YouTube. We'll occasionally post over there. So, like I said, if you're in the Facebook world, come check us out. You want me to put a staple in this one?
No, but we can put a staple right here.
I got one right here ready.
Somebody's mowing up the road. How much you want to bet it's my mama?
Yeah. That's a mowing woman.
That she is. Yeah, see this ground right here does, well, you can't even get it in there because of the rocks.
That was another reason we want to raise beds.
Yeah, we got plenty of rocks around here.
We can't grow nothing else. We can grow a rock. Y'all, I bet me and Andy in that, what we call a big garden right behind y'all. I can't tell you how many rocks we've picked up out of that garden through the years. I just don't even know. I don't even know how a spot that size can grow that many rocks.
And big rocks.
And big rocks. And we've picked up rocks and picked up rocks and picked up rocks.
And it's only this spot though. Like you get away from this area of this area up here is what I call gray land.
The rock hill.
And it's rocky. But when you get over into the red land and stuff that's on our place, you don't have that many rocks.
They're not that bad.
Then you get over there on the side of that hill, it's nothing but rocks. It's
over
awful.
where the pigs are, yeah.
Then you get down there across the creek, and at bottom, a rock doesn't even exist down there until you start going back up the hill. Once you get back on that hill, now there's rocks everywhere.
Yep, but we're pretty good at growing rocks, if nothing else. I just don't know. I mean, I can't tell you how many tractor bucketfuls we've picked up out of that garden.
A lot.
And there's still just as many rocks out there as it was.
Yep. I believe somebody said one day, you sound like to me, you need to pick up rocks.
We do.
We have. They just keep coming back. All right, this will be the last stretch. Then we'll have to kink it off right out there.
Okay. So you don't want me to put a staple right here? It's okay?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
It ain't. I don't know if it's gonna hold much of.
Well, it'll be there for moral support.
See? The soil in these beds is too loose. All right, let me go get one of them things that block it off. All right, this last little bit of run right here, we can, I guess this is what we need to do. Just cut it off a little extra there. And this is just a piece that slides on. You kink it. Put it back up in there, and it holds that kink in it so the water doesn't come out. And then that also allows you to be able to unkink it and hook something else onto the end of this if you need to. Now I do need a staple here, but I don't know how well that's going to hold.
Here.
That's got a lot of springiness to it.
Well, it's cold out here.
There we go. I just had to twist it.
Tiger's coming to assess the situation.
What you doing, girl? Huh?
She was laying over there in the sun. I guess she thought she'd finally come over here and see what we were doing.
What you doing? All right, girl. Well, here comes the answer to your question, how the water gets out of this thing. So this little doohickey right here is a hole punch. You punch holes in this line over here, and you insert these little couplers, and then on this your drip line goes on to, and that drip line runs out by each plant. We want to completely rearrange this and rearrange the way our drip line is. There is plugs in there that will plug off these holes so you can completely redo it and without wasting your pipe here.
I got you.
You know, so once you punch a hole in this, if you don't want that hole there, there's no big deal. You just put a plug in it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This looked to be extremely easy. Look at there.
I heard it.
Pop right in, and then this should pop right into it. There it is. So our drip line's gonna go on that. Or not, yeah, the drip line. Our emitter line. And I think on them emitters, I think I heard him say this on the video, I think they're right 6 inches apart, which is gonna be about perfect. As long as that emitter is somewhere close to the root zone of our plant, it'll work. You understand?
Yeah.
Now this will plug right into here. it's just gonna pop right on. Just like, well, it's cold and stiff.
Wiggle it on there.
Yeah. See there?
Yeah.
Just like that. And your little staples are what will hold it down. And we're gonna try to keep it pretty straight.
Okay.
We'll have to go back with one of those plugs and plug off the end.
Of each one of them.
Yeah.
Where's him at?
But now listen, I think what I've seen, well, as long as we don't get no dirt in it, I think it'll be all right. But the thing is, and I didn't even think about that, on each one of these strips, before we plug these off, we run water through them just to make sure that we flush everything out.
No dirt in them. Okay.
Yeah, to make sure they don't got no dirt in them. But the plugs are in this box.
Oh, okay.
In one of them little bags.
So how?
For now, since we're going to be messing with this end, let's just put one right there in the middle, and we'll leave it like that. We'll put the plug in,
and then we'll
roll on. Maybe what I'll do,
like this, like I'm still.
Yeah. Try to keep that line close, and see, we can always move the line if we see it's not wetting the ground like it should.
Right.
So, what I think I'm going to do, Megan, is I'll put 2 plugs in each bed. So you can run a line off of this plug and use about half of the bed, and then we'll run a line up there and use about half the bed.
Okay.
So that way it's not putting so much on one drip line.
Just make sure it's close.
All right, we've got all the drip line run through these 3 beds. So we're going to do a test run on it just to see if it works. Make sure that way we've got everything set up works before we actually do this side. And I'm somewhat running out of time right now anyway, so this might be the only part we get done this morning anyways. All right, let's go turn the water on.
I hear it. There it is. Whoa, look at that.
Is anything coming out?
Yeah.
Oh, I hear it.
Whew. That one's going crazy over there. See it?
Yeah, it's squirting everywhere. Once we don't hear the air bubbles popping anymore, we'll put the plugs in.
All right.
Even the drip line's working without the plugs in it.
I know.
Ain't that fancy?
I don't see nothing leaking nowhere.
Look at that. So you see how those emitters do?
Yeah.
They just put out a little bit of water, so it's only going to wet that spot. So we're probably going to have to make some adjustments on where we've got the emitters. But once we plug everything off, it's going to be putting out more water. So let's see if I can put the plugs in while the water's running. Helps to have a little set of pliers to grab a hold to them with. Look at the water just dripping out everywhere.
I see it.
And so, you know, the cool thing about this is too, is if you want to, which I don't know that we ever will, but if you wanted to, you can buy the thing, the fertilizer injector, and you can mix up some liquid soluble fertilizer, and you can fertilize and water at the same time. Like I said, I don't know that we ever will, but that is one cool thing about a setup like this.
Yeah. And it's not coming out that end at all that you got kinked.
Nope. It's working good, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
I do notice that it looks like to me some emitters are putting out just a little bit more water than others.
I noticed that too.
But that's okay.
Kind of mesmerizing.
I know, it's fun to just watch. Now instead of sitting out here spraying water, I'm going to be sitting out here watching the water drop. So I'm still not going to save no time. I'm just sit here and watch it.
But, well guys, anyways, we appreciate y'all spending some time with us today, and hope you enjoyed the video, maybe learned a little something, and until we see y'all on the next one.
Y'all have a good one.
Have a good one.
Have a good one!
Every time.